It's your back porch commentators coming to you from somewhere in Missouri, where a firm handshake means more than your signature, and a cold drink can help solve almost any problem. That's what we're planning to do here, bring you along on our journey to the answers to life's questions. You'll get a few facts and a lot of opinions, but remember, we're probably intoxicated and definitely full of shit. So pull up a chair and settle in while we explore some of those most thought-provoking questions, like why is a man bun a thing? Hey everybody, welcome back to B&J on the Rocks. Episode 33, here we are, 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah,
sort of.
About 10 days, whatever, give or take.
Something like that.
Yeah. This is one of those days we've kind of spontaneously done it and managed to work it into a lunch break in the middle.
It's like an afternoon deal here, so a little different for us.
Hope y'all appreciate the efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could be drinking after the conversations we've been having today. Now I'm kind of feeling...
Now we need it.
Now I need it. So...
Well, what are we drinking?
Well, I'm about through with my peach
tea. Not spiked. We got plans this afternoon, so...
Yeah.
You know. It is good tea, though.
It's good tea. It's Snapple.
Yeah?
Yeah, the big Snapple.
That'll
The
work.
Lipton's almost like just pure sugar.
Right. And I always get a lemon flavor with Lipton, too. Like, doesn't matter what
flavor it
is, I always get a lemon
That's their
hint.
That's their thing. Yeah, I don't know. I started drinking it because I didn't want to pound soda all day long. I'll drink water, but after about 2 or 3 bottles of water in a day, if you're really working, I gotta have some flavor in my. I mean, look at me. I am nothing but flavor. Roughly, water and saltine crackers would be my flavor, I think.
Yeah. And I'm nothing but sugar. And, well, the fat on the end of the stick, right? That's what I am.
You're the burnt end.
Yeah, I'm the burnt end.
You're the burnt end, my friend.
That'll be my new nickname, right?
The burnt.
The burnt end.
Nothing but meat and flavor. Oh shit. So yeah, what were we linked up to last week? I guess.
We went through all kinds of shit last week.
Man, I'll tell you what, and it was yeah, it was a lot. It made me laugh though, because when I went back and listened to it, I missed laughing at us laughing.
I hope you guys did too, because I did too, and just editing and I had to listen to it again after I edited because I was like, this is good shit. Like I miss just laughing at just our random
bullshit. Yeah.
Even though I was here when it happened.
You're right. It's a little better when you're sitting back and watching.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest, doing that of any other thing, if you're by yourself and doing something and then going back and watching it. I've always wondered if somebody walked in, like, you always have that fear. And I think
if you're laughing at it, then it's
a bad
worse.
deal. When you're a kid, though, and I've read about this, that women wish that men were more vocal in bed. I don't think men have that because we start jerking off at like 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're playing with it or something at that point. I don't know.
And you're practicing stealthiness.
Yeah, and you have to be stealthy because you live at home still.
Yeah.
Like that age of self-discovery goes through when you're sharing a bathroom and a house and, you're just looking for a moment of 30, 45 seconds. And
how many showers is that boy taking today?
You wonder why men are quick and quiet. It's because we trained
years
for
of
this.
training.
So
we know how our show works.
Yeah, it's just a task. It's brushing teeth. Yeah, it is what it is. But like I said, I would think that I would look probably basically like a rabid monkey trying to peel a banana on coke. Yeah, just trying to get it done just as quick as possible.
How did the banana survive?
How is there any fruit? How is there any fruit left at all?
No wonder there's spots.
Have you seen that one, the video of the gorilla, where he takes they give him a banana and he's like, he like smashes on his chest and the peel just goes like this and it goes like that, and then he's like,
wow,
throws the peel off. That's probably roughly what I look like with my Pac-Man. I'm just like, And I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
And so since
You got
on the same topic, yeah, no, trying to clear that out so I can
Wash
keep
it
going
out.
here. But yeah, so and then we're quiet because you're concentrating. 'Cause
Right.
You don't want it to go that fucking fast, when you got someone there with you.
Oh, when you got someone there with you. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very frequent.
Now you're trying to
So-
enjoy it.
Now I want to make it special.
Yeah.
Um,
Baseball. Oh, shit. Yeah, there you go.
when Austin Powers came out and he's like, Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day. Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day. I had to look up who the fuck Margaret Thatcher was. Because that was, we were what?
Back then,
14 when that came out. And thank God they didn't have autocomplete. Because if you try and type that into Google now, that's what comes up. Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day.
Don't type it in.
Don't type it in. You don't want to see what happens. It's not even her, but it's enough.
They're doing it now.
I was gonna say
They're doing it now. Pause this. I'm
Pause
gonna
this.
just
Just give you a minute.
Margaret Thatcher,
Go ahead,
hold on.
look it up.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Welcome back.
Sorry.
Now get that out of your head.
Yeah, right.
Moving on.
Looks like nobody's finishing quick tonight.
No, but
You're
yeah.
welcome. Ladies, you can send your thank you emails to pjontheRocks@gmail.com.
There you go.
Speaking of which, we discussed this off the air, quote unquote.
Yeah.
We have not heard from Claire,
We have not.
which is slightly disappointing.
Quite lengthy, in-depth conversation
Right.
that then vanished,
Vanished into thin air.
which I find almost intriguing in a way, but
I would bet $1 if it's the
but
type
I'm thinking
of female.
now it's a dude.
Yeah, it's probably a huge penis. It's like I said, it's either somebody fucking with us, it's a dude, or it's the kind of girl. Somebody I heard on a movie called them a flutter heart, which tends to be the type of women that I'm kind of
I
attracted
get that
to.
every now and then.
Yeah. I think it's palpitations on my end, probably signs of an early heart
It's the
attack.
big one.
Yeah, I'm coming home. But that's the type of woman
Flutter
I'm
heart.
generally speaking attracted to, the flutter hearts.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I just got a feeling we probably won't ever
Yeah.
hear again.
It was nice while it lasted.
That's what she said.
Yep.
Either way, I finished.
Either way. Yeah.
So Claire, wherever you are, you're in our thoughts.
I hope you got your shout out last week.
Yeah, I hope you get the shout out.
Good Lord.
Um,
Waited long enough for that.
I kind of wondered, we kind of put together who it might be, and we had a conversation about that too, if it is that person,
Yeah.
and it would be ironic. I think that would be ironic coming back after this long.
Yeah.
If that was her,
Yeah.
but I don't. Those didn't look like her boobies. I didn't think. I mean, maybe they might be her boobies. Fuck, it's been a while since I seen them.
Could they have been enhanced since then? Is it
enhance? Enhance.
I'm trying to think of the right word. Augmented?
No, because if anything, those would have probably been smaller than the last
really?
time I seen her.
Well,
I don't know. It would be interesting though. It would be, if that was her, and if that's who it was, and she knows who it is, and that was thanks. I don't know what else to say to that.
yeah.
Yeah. I kept the letter. That's about all you can say.
Yeah.
Moments passed. It's always sad when you think back of people that were in your life, and then
Yeah.
I mean, when you think back those moments, it doesn't matter male, female, whatever. The people that had some kind of a staple in your life and then pass on.
Yeah.
Like not literally pass on.
Yeah,
But
just
like
flutter.
right.
Yeah.
The moment passes, your lives move on, and you're forever changed because the moment you had with that person, but then
Right.
they're gone. So that would It's funny when you think back how many people have affected. You remember when we worked at Eveready?
Yeah.
I mean, the men that worked there at that time, and the one female, the one woman,
right?
Who I still see.
They really,
on the fork trucks, anyways.
We connected with those people.
Yeah,
those guys. Yeah.
Built relationships with those, and those are dudes that I think I'll always remember.
Yeah.
For that.
Oh yeah, and that was early in our working career.
Yeah. How old were we? I mean, it was after 9/11. So
we both worked out there
20?
off and on throughout our
right
18, 20, 25. It was. Let's see, 2001, 2002.
It was after 9/11.
2002.
I think it was 2002.
Because I was married. And
Dakota was born while you were out there.
St. Joe.
Dakota was born while you were working out there.
No, so he was born right after I left. Tish was pregnant.
Okay, so I was still there, and you had, because after you, there was a guy named Adam, who actually lives at the end of the street now.
Yeah,
I don't know if I told you that or not. You know the stop sign at the end of my street.
Yeah,
across the street, there's that blue house kind of back in the timber.
Okay,
that's his.
Really?
Yeah, I found it on the GIS.
Adam, is he the one that was always driving the sweeper cart around?
I don't know if that one was him.
Because there was 3 of us back there for a while.
Right, and I don't think he was. I don't think that was. Okay. Maybe that was. Fuck, I don't remember.
I can't remember now.
That's been so long ago.
Names escape me.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, those guys
escape me a lot of days.
Those guys, because that was early in our
formidable years.
Yeah,
as men,
we were still trying to kind of figure out our own way. We
were getting out of home.
Yeah.
And starting at high
out
school.
From under our parents, and had that kind of extra father figures, I guess, in a way.
In a way, yeah.
Positive male influences.
I'll never forget Johnny Five.
Johnny Five.
Because his fork truck was number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was always, I still see him around.
I saw him at a garage sale a few months ago.
Oh, yeah? He was driving an Eco Lab truck. Last time I seen him, he looked at me like I was nuts.
Yeah, that's about right.
So,
he's like, nothing's changed.
Yeah. He was, what was it he said? He was kicking my butt, and at 20 years old, you're like, yeah, I'm going to, and you burst out of the gate, at 120%, and then about halfway through, you're starting to slow down, and he'd surpass and just outwork me every time. And I'd be like, how in the shit in the hell is he doing this? And come to find out, he goes, it's OFP. I said, what's OFP? He goes, old fart power. And I feel like that some days now where the kids take off and you're like, man, they're going to whip my ass. And about halfway through, they putter out. And you're still going along. You learn how to gauge your efforts, let's say. Unless you're a gorilla peeling banana.
Yeah, right.
It's still hit it with that same effort.
Speaking of that area of the body.
Uh-oh. Is that a growth?
We got a lot of men listeners.
Right.
And you and I are getting into our midlife, almost.
Fucking say it.
We're getting up on 40, all right?
Right. It is what it is.
And I've started to notice some changes, and I'm like researching, and I'm like could be
like they're getting
enlarged
lower?
Prostate.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
So I don't know if you wanted to mention somebody else that we know.
Yeah, my mentor.
We don't have to mention names, but
one of my mentors. His PSA is up, which is the protein your prostate makes.
And so go get checked. It's a simple blood test. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah,
where they actually got to check the prostate.
I think they still do that.
They still
after a certain
once
age.
it's yeah.
What is it, 50 for men or
probably?
Something? Hell, I don't know. I put
Unless
a finger up there
history.
every chance I get.
Maybe the pinky.
Yeah, maybe even in the cold. No, I think it's good. Once you get to it, I hate the fact that we're coming to the point where we have to start looking at the charts that say, this is what you need to get checked out now.
Yeah.
But when you really think about it, 200 years ago, people really didn't live much more than...
Yeah.
There's a rare lucky, if you were well off and had access to things like heat and cooked food.
Yeah.
But there was, within the last, 300-400 years, the lifespan was 40-ish.
Yeah.
Something like that. 30s, mid-30s. I mean, hell, I should have died when my liver stuff kicked up, when you really think about it, if it wasn't for modern medicine, which is when I started putting weight on, thanks to that blacklisted FDA.
Yeah, he put on like 3 pounds. Can you tell? I mean, good
all
Lord,
in my
this
cock.
guy.
But, like, there's things that started happening after
I gained sympathy weight for you.
Yeah. Also
I
in
put
my
this
cock.
on when Tish was pregnant, and I just never lost it.
I think when they're pregnant, it's called empathy weight.
Empathy weight.
Yeah. So
this is for you, honey.
Yeah. It's all for you. Yeah. Everything I do, do for you.
Yeah.
But
so go get checked.
Yeah, go get that shit.
We're at that. Compared to a vehicle, we're at that 100,000 mile maintenance.
I'd even say 75.
Got to go flushing all the fluids.
Your timing belts are needing a little wider than they used to be. They're squeezed,
stretched out. It's just,
some of the bushings need greased.
Yeah.
Some bushings are too greasy.
Some are just,
God, that sounds.
Some are dried up for the rest of their life. Ain't no fixing that one.
Our mechanic friends will enjoy that one. All I know is my muffler bearings are still rattling pretty good. So, as long as the pipe don't rust out, I'm good to go.
Good. Well, with all the emissions checks these days. You probably wouldn't pass.
That's a bad deal. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So you have some offspring that's coming of age.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of aging.
Yep, Dakota turned 18 on the 7th of July. So it was kind of funny. That day he turned 18, he already started trying to push I'm 18 now, I can do what I want, on us.
I can do what I want.
And if you know my son, you know what I mean, but he's high functioning autistic, and so he's probably gonna live at home or at least really close to us for probably the rest of our life. And so there's always those moments where you're trying to like let him go a little bit, but still, hey, you might want to watch that.
Right.
So yeah, he had an incident with energy drinks several years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and he's got a little caffeine sensitivity. So
wired for sound, was he?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it took us to the ER.
Really?
That's how worried we were about it. And so for a long time it was, no, you can't have an energy drink. You're lucky we let you drink Mountain Dew.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah. And well, the problem was it got all over social media, and so even if I wanted him to have an energy drink, and I was like, okay, this one you can probably have. It's low caffeine, all this, whatever. Even if I wanted him to have one or was okay with it, we didn't let him do it because God forbid someone see you buy that for him, or him drinking it, that saw that post, and now they think, well, what a hypocrite,
Right.
And so we worked on that. Well, he turned 18. He walked down to Casey's and bought an energy drink. And I'm like, son, you already know.
Yeah,
you have this sensitivity,
go.
I'm like, anyway. So we did that for about 3 days in a row, and then I finally was like, all right, let's stop that shit.
Yeah. And the thing is you like you said, you want to give them that ability
to
test that out, but at the same time, you can't go through life making all these decisions. Why not? I do it for Bill.
Exactly. Well, when he came up to me that afternoon, he's like, "Can I try whiskey?" I was like, "No,
not yet. 3 more years. Nothing I can say about it.
You're not quite ready. I know.
Oh man,
I'm so tempted to give him a shot. Like
just to watch him go.
The hottest one that I got, just here's the 130 proof Jack Daniels, try that, and just to watch him just like get sick off of it, because he would. He's pretty dramatic when it comes to tastes. So if I gave him that, it would just like burn him out, and he probably would never try it again. So I'm like almost tempted to just do that and just get it over with. But I want to be able to film it and post it, and he's only 18, so.
Well, what you could do is film it and then wait 3 years to post.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody will ever know the difference.
Nobody will ever know.
As long as there's not like a calendar in the background.
Yeah. Hold this newspaper.
Or we don't have a zombie apocalypse in 2 years instead,
Right. Yeah.
a civil war
Yeah.
of sorts. Where'd you even get whiskey?
Well, and that I'd rather him drink with me at home than anywhere else
right,
for the first time, especially.
See how that goes.
But did I drink with my dad first? No.
I think I was able to try beer, but I don't think I ever tried any heavy liquors until I was out on my own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had well, of course, Dad would let me try beer. When I was young, here's a sip. But
right.
Other than that, it was probably me and Pat.
Oh yeah.
Getting into the hot dam or God damn, what the hell did we get into? Oh, his dad had all kinds of shit, from the liquor store.
Oh,
but,
I'm sure.
I mean, all the little bottles still, he just had them all in the shed down in the barn. And, man, we went through some of those. We were probably 14. And it was enough that it was like, whew, I can only do one of those.
Yeah.
Because I had no tolerance built up yet, but yeah.
I remember
tried it.
high school football games. I was a band geek, so we had to be down there for hep time and the pep band and all that shit. And it's when it started getting cold in the fall.
This
some of the older kids.
At band camp?
Yeah, this one time at band camp. But the older kids would manage to get us liquor.
Right.
And I never got that experience of passing it down because actually senior year, our band director had retired, I think. Somebody new came in and, I don't know, after the band trip, I was like, it was what it was,
Yeah.
But not only that, but we were right on the brink of where cops could still get away with going, pour it out, go home.
Yeah.
Or, if you're a parent, it was before the bad stuff started happening that made everybody go, if you're a parent, you can't have kids drinking in your house,
right?
Because you could be held liable. And it wasn't,
yeah.
We
were the last great generation, I think.
I don't know about great, but
we could get away with some things.
We were the last borderline generation. How's that?
Yeah.
But I remember schnapps, peppermint schnapps and hot chocolate, which is still a staple, if you want to take your old lady out or something and have a romantic ride through the Christmas lit park or something and drink some schnapps.
Back to the 90s.
Yeah, and Mad Dog. I remember Mad Dog because there was this guy named Josh and he would run down, not our Josh, but another kid named Josh, and he was a couple years ahead of us in school, and he'd run down to Shop and Hop and pick up Mad Dog.
Yeah. Well, that Casey, I'm not going to say last names, but he was a bigger guy. Mm-hmm. Casey, he was in our class.
In our class?
And,
okay, yeah.
And I'm sure his dad probably got it, but he always had a refrigerator full of, wasn't Mad Dog, it was Red Dog?
The beer?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
There's a black label with a red bulldog on it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
we would have that. Yeah, you say Mad Dogs remind me of that. I was like, oh yeah, I had some of that.
His sister was a few years ahead of us in school, and she was working at Everett and had an apartment. She always used to tell me to come over before school because we had to be at school at what, like 8?
Probably.
Right. I think she got off.
7:55.
Yeah, she got off from work at 7, and she's like, I'm usually showering about this time.
Oh, boy.
And I made the trip over like one time right after I'd turned 16, and I chickened out. She was in the shower, and she came out in her towel. I was like, well, I better get to school.
I ain't got time for this now.
Yeah. I was afraid I would fall short, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
With an older woman, what are you going to do? Plus, she was a redhead.
Redhead's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But now I'm thankful for it, I mean, because, stupid is as stupid does.
Yeah. That's a good movie, by the way.
Yeah. That'll take you back. That had some life lessons in it, too. Wrap it before you tap it, kids. Don't get AIDS. I always wonder how Forrest came out and didn't have that one. I mean, God dang.
Yeah.
And, I always kind of felt sorry for Forrest. I mean, he was really kind of raped when you think about it.
Right.
He didn't have any need for that. He wasn't interested in that. He just loved Jenny for who she was.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking to get his tip wet.
But he did.
But he did. And she did.
And so,
really, though, it always irritated me about that scene because she came in and the wind's blowing through the Georgia curtains, and she mounts up and takes it slow.
Alabama.
Was it Alabama? Yeah. It was the Alabama curtains through the sheer white Alabama curtains in a summer storm wind. And she comes in there and she mounts up like she's going to make sweet seat love to him. And let's be honest, if it's your first time and you're like 30 years old, that thing's going off.
Yeah.
It's going off. I'm surprised the wind wasn't blowing and he'd already. I'm sorry, Jenny. I finished 5 minutes ago when the mist started blowing in with the wind. Like, fuck me. I sense some moist humidity in the air. Once the wind gets over 7 to 8 miles an hour through Mama's curtains, I'm finished.
It all goes back to my childhood.
I was sitting here
What is
playing
this,
with
Mama?
I was playing with my ping pong paddle, and all of a sudden, my ping pong balls went off.
Oh, shit.
Jenny, won't you play with my dingaling? Somebody, feel free to use that as a ringtone. Jenny, play with my dingaling.
There you go. We'll cut that out and upload that. You can download it on Zedge later.
Oh, God. I'm going to hell for that. She grabbed his penis and she's like, turns out shrimp salad wasn't the last one. Oh, shit. I don't know. I felt bad for Forrest in that movie.
did too.
Like, I really think he was molested more than anything in that scene. And then she could have given him the ever-ending, never-ending, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What a bad deal.
And something else in that movie, with he got drafted
right
into the military with the
Yep.
NOM, and Dakota turned 18, got that selective service,
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to research, okay, he's not military material.
Right.
Not that I think they're going to enact the draft anytime soon.
Hell with our country, you never know anymore.
But anymore, yes, you never know. And
if he did, it'd probably be to serve in the streets of Maryville. Right. Or a Civil War or some shit like that.
You never know.
You never know.
Nothing would surprise me at this point.
The older you get, the more you get shit figured out, you think, and the less you're surprised when you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Like when you texted me when the January 6th, when the insurrection or whatever was happening, right? And you were like, here's what's happening. And I was like, I looked it up and I was like, not shocked.
Yeah, not a surprise. It is what it is.
I'm disturbed that it happened, but
I still think
not even disturbed, really. I was just kind of like, really?
Yeah. I think the media played that up way more than...
You think?
I think so. I think everybody's disturbed at the thought that it can happen in our country, but a lot of people forget that that's exactly how our country started.
Yeah.
Do I agree with the premise of it or not? That's besides the point. I'm not even getting into that. I'm just saying that we shouldn't live in a country where it's that we might have even the inkling of an idea to go to our government and put our foot down.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We should have that right. Is it right to do it every other week? No, of course not. Over piddly ass shit. No. Over the process. No. But we shouldn't live in a place where we fear our government of actually, being able to take it back. And no, that's how you end up like where we were 250 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost. Anyways. So Dakota draft. Let's get back to it.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, like, it got me thinking, like, what can I do, about this, and so got to research, and there's different ways to go about it, but basically is he,
has to matter.
not able to really be on his own,
Right.
and I don't think it really is, So now
most of us probably we shouldn't have been at 18.
At 18, no. But yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And so, now they've changed the age for smoking, I guess, but not for military. You can still vape at 18, I guess. He informed me of that, and I was like, well, you better not be fucking vaping.
Yeah. Not in this house, you ain't.
God.
It's a life choice, son. You want to live or not?
I know you're my size now, and he's solid. Like, he's pretty solid muscle, but he has no technique. so I can still take him down. It's all right. And he would find out if he started doing that shit.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta. Yeah.
Yeah. God damn. Parenting. Yeah,
It's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. The gift that keeps on giving.
Like Jenny and Forrest.
Yeah. All that said, I love my son to death, but
I don't think anybody who's
anyone with kids knows exactly what I'm talking about. But
I don't know.
man, I really want to drink.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm not an alcoholic. My son thinks I am, but because he's seen me drink once.
Amazing what kids can blow
kids.
out of proportion.
Yeah, don't go to school and tell them your dad's an alcoholic.
Alcoholic, right?
Yeah, Dad hits me.
All of a sudden you get a call from the counselor. The fair is in our hometown this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of carnies.
Yeah, speaking of carnies. And we were talking earlier about how when we were kids, it was almost like Christmas. They would come in
Yeah.
under the scope of night. In the morning, you'd wake up and it would all be constructed.
Yeah.
And it would end Saturday night, and Sunday morning before you went to church, they'd all be gone.
It was gone.
It was gone.
like, what?
Nothing.
It just blew in the middle of the night.
And back out again. It was like they came in on a floating streamer of cotton candy and funky broccoli smell, and poof, we're gone again.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And so it was like, and now they started setting up 3 days prior.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Monday evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you really think about it, I wonder if that doesn't have anything to do with the safety precautions. Maybe that now they're required to be more
Checks
safety-minded
and things.
Yeah, because you
guess,
see,
maybe.
there was something I seen the other day. It was a short on YouTube, I think, where this crowd runs over and they've got the thing spinning around, like this, where it goes around, and then the cart twirls on it like a hammer or something roughly.
Yeah.
But it was set up on a trailer where it wasn't like around. It was just a flat trailer, and people walk up, and so the whole thing, as it got up, started to tilt over, and like 6 people ran over and grabbed the railing. I'm like, grab somewhere else other than the detachable railing if you're trying to hold something that's probably 10,000 pounds.
And good luck.
Yeah, enjoy the ride on
If
the way over.
this is going to go
folks.
over, you ain't stopping it.
Yeah, 1,200 pounds, I guess, might make enough of a difference to keep that fulcrum down. I don't know, but yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the time when I was probably 3, 4. No, so let's see, it was Katie that got in the car. So I would have been. She was 2 years younger than me, so I was probably 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
She was probably 2. And one morning, Mom started the car. It was cold, so she went out. It was empty.
I got it.
And so Mom went out and started the car, and then we come back out, and Katie had got in the car while Mom ran in to get something else. She jumped in the front seat, somehow got it into gear, and was going back and forth, hitting the garage, and then back
crap.
and almost out into the street, and then got it back forward again. And she was going back and forth in the driveway, right? Mom's flipping out. Me, being the man, right? At 4 years old, I'm like, I'm going to stop it. So I'm running back and forth thinking, I'm going to stop this car. And so, Mom, God damn, I can't imagine the heart attack she was having thinking my 2-year-old daughter is going to kill my 4-year-old son. And I'm there in the driveway going,
watching it happen.
Happened? Oh, my God. But yeah, that was one of those things like, if you ain't stopping it. No. And, man, that just reminded me. So sorry, Mom, if you're watching this.
I apologize
for the heart attack when you're 25.
Good times.
I was one of those kids too, I guess.
Aren't we all at some point?
Yep.
Yeah. No, I remember the fair was like the best time. It was like the middle of summer, and then after that, summer just seemed to fly by.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of summertime romances that blossomed as a troublesome teen adolescents at the county fair.
Yeah.
And then walking by the beer garden, only wishing you could.
Oh my
be
God.
Old enough to get in the beer
and
garden.
now that we can go, it's like, this is it.
Well, and I reached the point where there was people that I looked forward in seeing there.
Yeah.
And they've all gotten old enough now that they don't.
They've got kids and they're...
No. I'm talking like...
Oh, okay.
They're our parents' age and older.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And now they're all gone. And the people that are our age that are going, I don't want to fucking see. And anybody younger, I don't recognize.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, I used to think it was ridiculous when you'd see those parents up there. We're like, no, we go up on Thursday and we take our kids and then we don't really go back the rest of the week. I'm like, how lame is that? And now I'm like, I'm going to take Jack up there and
Thursday afternoon.
I don't really see a point in going.
Right when they're starting, here, go ride this thing and we're going home.
Yeah, my sister was talking about, what was it? Oh, we were planning it out and we talked about Polly Eyes, the local, institutional pizza buffet joint.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's expensive as hell now. And I was like, what do you mean it's expensive? Polly Eyes. It's like $12 a person, she just texted me.
Yeah, for the buffet?
For the buffet.
Yeah,
and a drink.
on the weekend
like,
especially, yeah.
I'm like, $12?
Yeah.
I can order a whole damn pizza, and half the time you're waiting on something that's not there. And you know what I'm saying? You might get a slice or two of your...
Well, and I've just noticed buffets are like that now.
Yeah.
Every one of them is like that, but
whatever.
Everything's going up.
It's Tell me about it, John.
Okay.
Calm down, John. It's just a podcast.
Well, we started talking about Jen A.
There goes that 5 to 8 mile an hour breeze again.
There it is.
There it is. It sounds so. There it is.
Whoop, there it is.
Oh, crap.
Back to the 90s.
Oh, man.
And,
do you
but
remember?
that, so I was going to say with the fair, the mystique of it all kind of went away when I was probably 10 or something. Because Dad started working for the fair board.
Oh.
And so I got put to work.
Yeah, that'll ruin it. That'll ruin it.
We're loading up trash cans and
porta potties
and
clean
bleachers
up
and shit, taking them out there. And Sunday morning, we're out there loading everything back up,
Yeah.
So
not near as fun tearing it down as putting it up.
No.
Yeah.
Putting it up, you're like, got something to look forward to.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah, they're going to like this.
Afterwards, it's like, where's everybody at? Where are you fuckers at that enjoyed this? Nobody wants to
Tumbleweeds just blowing through the street.
Tumbleweeds of trash is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
Oh, God. So, we had a classmate, super intelligent. His name was Chris. And we were like 8th grade freshman, and he's reading like college material level, and the kid was super smart, super nice.
Electronics.
Yeah,
everything. I could do.
And he was not, he was always super like decent to me.
Oh, yeah.
And that's stuff that I remember.
Yeah.
And after high school, I guess, I don't know what exactly happened, but then he ended up traveling with the fair, the carnival company that was in our hometown, which ironically, the lady that owned it, her granddaughter ended up cutting my hair when I lived in Columbia, and she knew Chris and stuff too. But we were up there I think it was maybe 2 years after we graduated something, and I'd taken the girl I was dating at the time to the fair, and it was right at midnight when they were shutting down the rides on like Saturday night, last run.
Yeah.
And we rode the Hammer. It was the Hammer, where it'd go up and then back, and back then I was a big fan of those rides, you know. And he put me up in that thing and took us for an extended ride.
Yeah.
And then the next people come in, and he's like, "Well, these are the last two. You want to just stay on?" Because it was two-sided.
Yeah.
2 per side. He's like, "I only got 2 people ride. You want a free ride?" I said, "Sure." So he did it, and he did another extra long ride. I mean, and I think it literally broke my equilibrium because ever since then, like if I ride something, like I feel nauseous when I get on, and that's been 15 years ago or better now. And I'm like, and I don't, you know, I'm not blaming him at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a dick like that. I'm just like, I remember the moment that snapped in me, and it's never been the same.
Similar situation. You remember the Gravitron? It looked like a spaceship kind of thing, right? And it's one of those you get in, and it spins around, and centrifugal force, and then you're just kind of like, you slide up the wall, and you're just staying there, right? Yeah. So we used to, you know, get on that thing, and we try to like walk around, right?
Right.
Put one foot on the wall, and, you know, step and try to get to the center, you know? And we rode that thing, and it was an afternoon deal, and we were on it for an extended period of time. The guy was in the center just going, whatever, we'll just keep it going, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know how long we were on there, but I got like, I didn't puke, but I was like sick. Just, I was, you know, it took it out of me, you know? And ever since then, anything spinning, I'm done.
You're out.
You know? And god damn. But I loved it until I didn't.
Until you didn't. Yeah. No, I get that. I'd like to say that's age, but I think there's just about like everything else. You know what I can't drink anymore? Vodka. Everybody's like, it doesn't have a scent. You can't taste it. Bullshit.
You
get sick off of that one
after
time.
After you puke it up,
yeah, you're out.
Yeah.
No more. Especially if it's like cheap ass.
Flavor cheap.
No, I was going to say cheap ass
or the
vodka.
cheap stuff, yeah.
Oh, man. I can't remember whether it was McCormick's or something, you know.
Yeah.
I was in Columbia, and I mean, apartment was on a hill up some stairs, you know. It was like 2 buildings. One was on the level, and then one was the next up the hill a little bit. And
yeah.
I just remember I couldn't take the stairs. I had to crawl through the grass and then go up 2 flights of stairs to get into my apartment. And I made it in, and I didn't really know anybody in Columbia. So I'd basically I'd been working on my truck, and Josh had called me, and I proceeded to start drinking and ended up sitting on the tailgate in the parking lot drinking all night by myself until a thunderstorm started, and then I had to make that way back up. And I'd been drinking vodka, and I don't remember even what I was mixing it with, but I do remember that there was a one time in my life I was engaged, and she had just bought a white down comforter.
Oh shit!
And when I say just, I mean like that
like
week.
First washed. And
no, it was. Yeah, it was.
It's on the bed now.
Yeah, it was.
We're getting in it tonight.
Days old, and I proceeded to come in and barf on it,
man.
and then sleep on the floor at the foot of the bed. And I remember her getting up pissed as shit.
Was that the beginning of the end of this relationship?
No, I think that's probably partially maybe while I was drinking. You know, the thing is the one piece of advice I will give to anybody: if you were in a relationship and you make that first initial jump of living together, right, or whatever,
which I think is important.
Cohabitating, it's like
the marriage.
test drive.
Yeah.
Let me just throw this out here. Do not include an in-law in that living, whether it's moving into the in-law's house with the other person, whether it's them breaking up with their boyfriend and moving in with you into your apartment, which is what happened. Yeah, it sounds oddly specific. So she did not give her approval on me getting engaged because she said somebody without a college education could never support a family. That is bullshit. Anybody listening, that is complete and utter bullshit. It's all what you want. If you want to go out and make it, you'll make it. And you probably won't be any worse off with a good work ethic than somebody that's got a college education and a student loan payment. You know, I I just believe that.
I totally agree with you.
It's all what you want to do and what you're capable of, and that's basically all it comes down to. So she didn't approve of that, anyways. She didn't approve of us cohabitating, but she was on like her. She was living with a guy that had Dr. Shaft. He made custom drive shafts, and his license plate said Dr. Shaft on it.
Ooh.
And whenever she moved out and we had to move her stuff back into the apartment, we found a pair of her panties in his old Dodge van. And this guy was cool. I mean, he made custom drive shafts and welded shit, and all he wore was a pair of shorts and flip-flops.
And his license plate said Dr. Shaft.
Yeah, he had like an old pan head sitting around.
How much more cool could you get?
Yeah, and it was this old cargo like Candyman Dodge van with a set of Kragers on it, and they'd go to swap meets and flea markets and stuff and spend the weekend and camp out in this van. Well, when we were moving, we found a pair of her panties tucked under a floor mat, so they've been getting that free. And there's nothing like seeing a short, chubby 50-some-odd-year-old woman with a pair of thongs. Like, anyways, so
this is the episode of bad images.
Yeah. Get that out of your head.
Yeah.
So anyways, Judy was her name, and she moved in with us, and at that point my fiance at the time started undertaking her qualities, and while she was a very nice woman, she is not somebody I would prefer to be married with. And at that point I was like,
you're looking at her and you're looking at her and you're going,
that's my future. That's my future. And still to this day, I regret how that relationship ended. It was, largely my fault and everything. And, but it wouldn't have lasted.
For the better.
Yeah, it wouldn't have lasted either way. And that's my recommendations. Don't shack up with parental. If you can't afford a place of your own, don't do it.
Yeah. Unless
you fall on hard times and you're already married, don't join a parental situation, because it's never going to end well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that.
The Forrest Gump references in this episode.
It's too much, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's plentiful.
But no, I totally agree with you, man. It's we lived together. My parents, I was raised Catholic.
Right.
And my parents were, Dad he grew up more Baptist, but at the same time, he was a little more, you should probably live together, whatever. But, Mom kind of set the rule for, no, you don't. And I think that was more fear of grandma.
Right.
And her judgment of it.
Which is understandable.
Yeah. But at the same time, me and my grandma had a lot of conversations that people will tell me things and they're like, oh, I don't know if I would have, done that in front of Virginia,
Right.
And I'm like, you have no idea. Like, this woman was much more progressive than you think she was.
Well, and I think there's the side that, and we have that too, even now, but that older generation especially, they had a side that they showed, and then a side that they were in private.
Yeah, and thankfully I got to talk to her as an adult.
Right.
I mean, if I would have only known her, like Grandpa, he died when I was 18, and never really got to know him. Unfortunately, I mean, I had plenty of opportunity to talk to him, but he wasn't a talker, and I wasn't going to force the issue.
Right.
So it's just that's a regret that I just never really got to know him.
Right.
And so luckily, I had plenty of years to get to know Grandma and get to know her on a more personal level, and I learned a lot about my grandpa after he died.
Tends to happen.
I knew more about him an hour after he died than I knew the whole time he lived. I was like, wait, what? He did what? He was where?
You guys couldn't tell me this like 2 hours ago?
Yeah. He was the guy, like, American badass, right?
Right.
And I sent you that video of that guy that was, what was his name? Joseph Bylam? Anyway.
Right.
World War II. And he had a scholarship to go to like Notre Dame, but everybody in his class was joining the military, right? And he was like, "Well, that's not fair. That I'm going to go do college, and these guys are going to go off of here.
Right?
Fuck that. I'm joining, And joined the paratroopers, signed up with the OSS, which was the CIA before the CIA, and ended up getting captured several times, escaping
several times,
several
almost
times,
blown up,
narrowly blown up by
half the time by
Allied forces.
Yeah, by Allied forces half the time, and just kept escaping and going.
Right. And then, how was that?
I wonder if that Steve McQueen movie had anything to do with him. That'd be interesting
Possibly.
to see who it was. What was the Great?
The Great Escape.
Was that the Great Escape? Or is that the one with Clint Eastwood?
I think that was
Alcatraz. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have to look it up.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But yeah, he, and then when he finally, after a year of behind enemy lines fighting, getting captured, fighting with the Russians, finally got back with American forces, who told him that he was not who he said he was?
Right.
And he had died a year ago. Finally, after I can't believe, somehow he went through 4 different embassies or something before they finally fingerprinted him and said, "Oh, I guess you are."
They shipped him to Egypt and everywhere.
and Italy,
and finally, it was Italy.
Italy thing said, "Okay, let's check your fingerprint. Oh, you are Joseph R. Bilen. Is it Bilen? I can't remember. Anyway,
It was the Great Escape, by the way.
was it the Great Escape?
Mhm.
Okay.
With the epic, he jumps a BMW basically motorcycle over the barbed wire, the razor wire. Yep, good stuff.
Steve McQueen.
That's a man's man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching a thing on Paul Newman
Mm-hmm.
with
Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke,
Yep.
and I was like, I forgot about that movie, but damn, there's a lot of things in there that it really kind of had an undertone of here's how to be a man and stay your own man even when you're imprisoned by
Right.
someone else. And it's like, well, that sums it up all the way to the end. And but yeah, this guy, man. So he ended up getting married in the church where they had his funeral, 2 years prior. And they lived to be 80 something.
That's a hell of an omen, I would think, almost.
Right.
I mean, I think they
How many
made
people
it.
were at that wedding that
Yeah,
had just
right.
attended his funeral?
His funeral.
And it was like,
Isn't it ironic though that the funeral came before the funeral?
yeah,
How many jokes you think were made about that?
foreshadowing.
Yeah, how many jokes were you died once and here you are again?
Yeah.
Coming
Right.
back for round 2.
God,
Oh well.
that was so fun. Let's do it again. Yeah.
Well, I suppose.
But yeah, that's that. The things I heard about Grandpa after he died was kind of, some of it was along that kind of line of, you're going to be over here and you're going to do this job, and if you get captured, we don't know who you are.
Right.
You're on your own. And luckily, he made it home every time. But God damn, I couldn't imagine.
I suppose that's just a different generation in general, though.
Yeah.
I can't even compare our grandparents' generation to us now, especially when we watch the news to see the amount of people that complain and whine and bitch about stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Coincidentally, speaking of things that I don't agree with, did you I happened to see that the mural for George Floyd was struck by lightning?
Really?
Yeah. And then building inspector said it was the age of the wall. Witnesses say it was a bolt of lightning. I was like, well, did the weather match the scenario? If it was 90 degrees and sunny, obviously it probably wasn't.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, did someone see this lightning,
I
or
don't-
did the wall just fall and they
I
go?
don't know. Witnesses say it was
lightning."
lightning. The building inspector said it was the age of the wall. Either way.
Meanwhile, the guy with the sledgehammer is
You're
going,
right.
I saw
I don't
nothing.
know. I mean, the hit. I mean, there is scorch marks
Okay.
on the wall, and the hit is high enough where they would have had to use an RPG or something to
Well,
and it didn't go clear through the wall, so it was a weak. It was like it was a Durka.
improvised.
RPG. Yeah, it was soda water. It was baking soda and
Yeah.
fizz it out as it got there. I don't know, but yeah. So that was Not making a political statement, just saying,
kind of like the
shit happens.
The Jesus
Yeah.
next to the highway that got struck by lightning.
You didn't see the meme I got was like God looking down, and then it showed the picture on the the meme was like from the Family Guy, and so it had like God and Jesus standing side by side or something, and they're looking down through the clouds, and it said "fuck that guy," and then the below the clouds, the second half of the picture was the Floyd Memorial, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Everybody needs a martyr, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that whole situation was again media pushed and was it wrong? Yeah. Do we all know what happened? No. I don't see how a whole nation can make judgment on one side or the other when nobody was there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on in people's heads. There's too many. Just in you and I going through our daily motions, there's too many variables.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Would you kill a man? No, of course I not. Why would I kill? Could you
give me
kill
a reason?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what would happen if this scenario and this? Nobody knows what anybody's capable of in any situation and the reasons that they go through and do the things they do. Best thing you can ever do in life is to just keep your nose out of the butthole of trouble. That's all I can say. Don't put yourself in stupid situations where you got to make stupid decisions. That's pretty much it.
Have you checked your butthole?
Yeah. Have you checked your butthole? But, who knows what happened that day. So I'm not going to sit there and judge either side. I didn't know the cop. I didn't know George Floyd. All I know is it didn't affect my bubble. Get the fuck out of it. Yeah. That's where I'm at in life. I'm not a social justice warrior. I don't care. I'm sure he probably did something. And I'm sure the cop maybe made a bad decision too. It was a bad day for everybody involved. Yeah. That does not mean as a nation we need to blow shit up and revolt and whatever. I don't care what side you're on. You never know the whole story. Never do. We never will.
No.
Let's put our mindset to better things, like who killed Kennedy.
Speaking of Grandpa.
Speaking of things we'll never know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's where I stand with shit.
Yeah.
Treat your neighbors decent. Do the best you can. Try not to go fucking insane like the rest of the world seems to be going.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if I ever die for writing a bad check, it wasn't my fault.
I pulled out way early on that one.
Start a movement. That's all I'm saying.
I would start a bowel movement.
Yeah.
I would feel really bad about it. But
This one's for John.
This one's for John. I'm going to give a little extra push at the end.
Yeah.
I would say kind things about you. I'm not starting a movement. Nobody's going to give a shit when I die. I'll be lucky to get a hole.
Well, I'll carry on with the podcast if we're still doing it.
In a nursing home.
Yeah. I'll put your picture up at the end. I won't mention you the whole episode. It'll be like a Catholic funeral. Yeah. I'm not going to mention you at all, but I'll put your picture up at the very end. Oh, yeah, this was for Brent.
That is very Catholic of you.
Right?
I appreciate it. As long as there's liquor involved, which is also very Catholic.
Yes. Oh, don't worry.
Yep.
If there's anything they taught me, it was don't talk about the dead guy or the people getting married. It's all due to God. And let's drink.
Let's drink.
Food's over here. Service is over at 11:50 because the Chiefs start at noon. So. Amen.
Is that Catholic or Irish? I don't know.
Irish Catholic.
I was going to say, it's swinging both ways.
That's what we got.
Anyway. Shit. Yes, sir.
Well,
we run.
I guess with that, we're in an hour.
An hour. Well, I've got an exterminator coming by.
Yeah, exactly.
And work to go back to do.
So us roaches got to get out of here.
Yeah, carpenter ants are a bitch. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So everybody, thanks. I hope you appreciate the lunch hour special.
Yeah, a little different.
Lunch hour special, $5.99.
Nooner.
Yeah, the nooner.
Wait. Different.
I do not think that means what you think it means.
I'm just here to stretch. Oh, no. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to work this out.
Yeah, trying to do the best we can with everything else.
Yeah.
So thanks for everybody for being patient.
Yep.
And Claire, wherever you're at, I'm thinking of you twice in the shower.
Say, was that just going to end on a ... as if
I don't know. I'm still pensive. The whole conversation prior. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know,
All
I might
right.
have to reach out on that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got an email
An email.
that you can try. But
Yeah.
anyway,
BJ on the rocks
With
at
that.
gmail.com.
yeah.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
If
And,
not 10 days, something
yeah.
like that.
10 days, whatever, 2 weeks.
We'll figure it out.
You'll wait for us. You did last time. So
Either way, I'll finish.
either way, yep. All right. See you guys later. Cheers.